Aloha beautiful beings, thanks for tuning in today. So today I just wanted to talk about how I unblocked my creative blockages in my sacral chakra. It took me about 3 years to not create anything for 3 years. So I just wanted to talk about my art journey today and how I came to realize that creating is actually a huge part of our divine purpose here. And because art is a spiritual form of channeling where you're bringing new inspiration and visions onto the planet that a lot of other people might resonate with. So art definitely has like a higher purpose. First, I just wanted to start with a little astrology update about the Scorpio super full moon coming up on Monday, which is moon day. So we're in Taurus season right now, and we have a stellium in Taurus, which is 3 or more planets. So we currently have the sun, and we also have Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, as well as Uranus, which is the surprise factor. It adds unexpected twists and turns. It's opposing the full moon in Scorpio, because a full moon is when the sun and moon are opposing, and Scorpio is like this all or nothing mentality. So the axis of Taurus and Scorpio is physical creation versus spiritual destruction. So ego death. This is also about, it's a great purge, it's a great cleansing, because Scorpio is fixed water. So those of us who are, so it's going to be a choice whether or not you want to seize this opportunity to purge and completely rebirth yourself into a new level of being that you've never reached before. That's the transformative power of Scorpio energy, when we are brave enough to address our shadows and completely transmute and purge and meet these demons. And so I'm going to be fasting for the whole full moon, as well as potentially sitting with psilocybin and working on channeling light language, because that's something that I really want to add to my artwork. But that's a little astrology update for now. If you want a more in-depth report, follow me on Instagram. So with my art journey, it's something that I've always done as a child. Painting was something that just came very naturally to me, and I grew up drawing like at a young age, and painting just kind of became my thing in high school, where I was doing it almost every day. And naturally, if you do anything consistently, you're gonna get good at it, because it's just practice. I did not create anything for 3 years straight when I first moved out here, because I guess subconsciously part of me associated painting with art school, which is where I had my spiritual awakening and complete turn of events, where I dropped out and just purged all my materialistic things and just left everything. When I moved out here, I tried to get into it, but I had so much healing I needed to do. I had like a lot of creative blockages, and I wasn't able to really enjoy the whole process of creating art. And I remember I had to like force myself to sit there and be really focused and try to like sketch all the time to get into it, but I wasn't feeling it after a while. So that's when I just left it all together and just started doing astrology and doing other things where I was just neglecting this creative part of myself. So last year, my twin flame and I actually had a huge discovery within ourselves. I actually had this like moment of epiphany where we realized that we both were talented artists as children. Like, I used to win awards and stuff back in the day in like high school and stuff, and that's when I realized like that's actually a huge part of my divine purpose here. So I'm finally getting back into it, and I feel like my soul is finally at home, and I feel like I can fully be in my body with all this Taurus energy too. And I'm a Taurus moon, so I don't have a consistent stream of income coming in, and as a Taurus moon, that's like a major thing where I need to feel emotionally stable. But at the same time, when I'm creating art every day and showing up for that part of myself, I feel so stable spiritually, trusting and knowing that the divine will take care of, that I'm being taken care of on a financial level, whether or not it has physically manifested. Some people might say it's blind trust, but for me, I can see and visualize what I want for myself, and it's coming into fruition every time I show up and paint, and I'm on it every day. So as long as I'm showing up for this creative passion every day and, giving my energy into it, I trust that it's gonna come back to me. And that's it. The sacral chakra is also called Swadhisthana in Sanskrit. It has 6 petals which represent the moon phases, and its element is water. So this is related to the Scorpio full moon because Scorpio rules the sacral chakra. The element water and sacred sexual energy is at the center of the sacral chakra, and this is what Scorpio rules. So this is very powerful energy when it's flowing correctly, and dance is a good way to physically awaken that energy as well as to organically let it express itself, because every day we're supposed to be creating some form of expression, some form of divine expression. And also the throat chakra is really tied into the sacral chakra as well. This is why when women are giving birth, like toning and making sounds with our vocal cords actually opens the sacral chakra and allows more energy to flow through both. So this is something I definitely experienced on my path. So I started making YouTube videos almost like 2 years ago, and this is something that I didn't know it back then, but it really, just speaking my truth, it really helped me open up my sacral chakra as well, because they're interconnected. So the sacral chakra has 6 petals and the throat has 16 petals, and I feel like the throat is a higher expression of the sacral chakra because the throat is the first spiritual chakra, and everything we speak into existence, it's like turning the thought into physical form. It's a spiritual form of creation, whereas the sacral chakra is a physical chakra, so it's about creating in the physical plane. So whether you're good at makeup, whether you're good at cooking, whether you're good at making art, drawing, painting, ceramics, whatever it is, making music, it's like all different forms of creating in the physical, and this is super important for our spiritual selves in this physical body because it brings pleasure and joy to the soul to know that it can be in its full divine expression on all levels, not just the spiritual centers but also in this body. That's why creating is so important, and everybody has a creative talent. Usually you can look back into your childhood to trace it because the sacral chakra is one of the physical chakras, and when we're children we have the 3 we're operating mainly from the 3 lower chakras, and as we get older, as we discover love and open our hearts into relationships, then we start to open the higher physical chakras. So children are naturally psychic, but it's not so much because they have their spiritual chakras open. It's more like because they came from another world more recently than someone who's been in the matrix longer. So they have their memory and they have their subconscious more in sync with the higher worlds because that's where they recently came from. So the seed of life also has 6 petals if you draw it out and look at it, and creation took 7 days to be completed. So if you think about the number 6, it's right below 7. So in order for the divine to complete itself, it has to be fully expressing itself through creative arts. So if you think about like what blocks water, it's always like very subtle things, and water rules the subconscious. So for me, like I was blocked because I had so much emotional healing from my past I needed to do, and healing my childhood traumas. And once I did, I spent 3 years on that and did not create any art for 3 years. And finally, once I was cleared, I quit my matrix job just last year, and this is the first time in my life where I'm living off my savings and completely directing and channeling my energy into my own creation. And I just have a few more things I wanted to add. So water is something that can't be like contained. So if you really want to make like a bigger painting, but you're confining yourself to like a smaller canvas, then it's gonna block your creative energy. Also, when I was like getting back into it, the first 2 paintings took me a long time and a lot of like focus and caffeine because I felt like I had like ADD or something. But it took me a lot of effort to really try to get my concept. But now it's more like I show up every day and it transforms like so much from my original vision. So thanks for tuning in today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful. And also check out my Etsy shop. I have holographic stickers that are on the way. You know, shipping is taking a little bit longer than usual, but yeah, they're gonna be available soon, and it's a protection symbol that I created. So yeah, peace.